Joining me now is NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams and Frank Figliuzzi, former assistant director of the FBI's counterintelligence division. His new book is The FBI Way: Inside the Bureau's Code of Excellence. Pete, first to you. We're getting some new information on one of the rioters from Pennsylvania, one of the accused rioters, who wanted to send Nancy Pelosi's computer to Russia. Tell me about that.
Yeah, either a computer or a computer hard drive. The FBI says a witness told him that she stole it from the office, wanted to give it to a friend in Russia who was going to in turn sell it to the Russian intelligence services. But apparently that fell through. But she has been charged now with breaking into the Capitol. You're right about the vetting of the Guard. Now, this is something that has been done in past inaugurals. What's different this year is they're vetting the entire deployment. Now, obviously, all these Guard members were vetted before they came into the Guard, so this is a recheck of some of that information, comparing against Terra databases. Let me show you a map here that I've prepared, Andrea. If you can come back to me, I want to show you how much bigger the security zone is around the Capitol. It takes a little while to focus in on. Here's the Capitol, here's the White House, here's the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. So this is the core area downtown. Now, this inner red line is the zone from last year where cars could not travel through. Look this year how it's gone much further north of the White House. It picks up clear down past the reflecting pool in the Lincoln Memorial and picks up this additional area south of the Capitol. And it also, in the green line, is the restricted zone that you have to be checked to go through. It goes clear across the river. These bridges are shut down. It goes way north of the White House, goes down behind the Capitol. So you can just see it's a much bigger area. And this is the area where the Guard is patrolling. This is the area that's now locked down through the inaugural. Much more territory this year compared to the past inaugurals.
And what's the latest on the investigation? You've been tracking the numbers.
Right. So we've got now 122 arrests. These are more than half federal arrests, about 40 of them D.C. arrests for curfew violations. More than 300, I think around 315 open cases, and this extraordinary number. This is not just telephone tips. These are tips that people sent in, pictures and videos that the FBI has been able to go through. So not just the video like the one we just saw, and the FBI has been looking at that, but all these other pictures, people saying, here's a picture that I think is somebody I know. And, you know, one of the most extraordinary things that we've been told here is that among the tipsters are friends and family members of people who are in the Capitol.
And, Frank, what about those reports that the National Guard is being vetted to prevent insider attacks? We know that this is precautionary and customary, but for them to all be vetted at this point, is that a reaction to the fact that so many military people, former military people, were involved in the event on January 6th?
It is indeed. As more and more evidence develops, Andrea, that there were active and former military and police within that insurrectionist crowd, I think this is a very valid precautionary measure. But I want to also caution that this not be some false sense of security. Well, everyone has been checked out by the FBI. Let's understand something, and we learned it painfully during the insurrection. The signs of radicalization really are not that someone has a criminal record or that someone is on a terrorist watch list, but rather that they have online postings that indicate radicalization and an intention for violence. The FBI doesn't have those kinds of resources, nor do they have the time frame in this race against the clock to check out 25,000 people's social media postings, nor may they even have the legal authority to do so. That's my concern.
And the video from inside that the New Yorker took from inside the Senate chamber, showing them opening desks, taking photos, the military procedures that they seem to be following, what did that tell you from what you saw?
Yeah, there's increasing signs of and evidence of planning and organization and coordination, and it refers back to what we just discussed, people with technical or intelligence or police backgrounds. And then the other thing that jumps out at me from the New Yorker video is just the radicalization element here. More Trump flags than American flags, comments like Senator Cruz would find it okay if we're here, we're doing this for Trump, an allegiance to personality over country.
And finally, I wanted to ask you about Michael Ellis. He's a former aide to Devin Nunes. He's now been appointed in the last 24 hours by the acting defense secretary, as general counsel of the National Security Agency, against the wishes, we understand, of General Nakasone, the head of that agency. Access to the most sensitive intelligence. It's a last-minute civil service appointment. It's going to be difficult for Joe Biden to remove him. This is very unusual. It's called burrowing, but in this case, putting someone in a very sensitive post who has a very, very aggressive stance against Joe Biden from all of his past behavior.
I can't emphasize enough how sensitive the position of general counsel at NSA is and the kind of access that role has, and the concern that this is a burrowing, a kind of deep state posture where a person would be privy to all kinds of sensitive intercepts and would use them for nefarious purposes. This person has to go, regardless of whether he's a civil servant or not. Let's have the lawsuit about it later. Joe Biden needs to remove him on day one.
Pete Williams, thanks so much. And Frank Figliuzzi, thanks to both of you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.